Welcome everyone to this lesson of Traveler4 Unit 4 Revision. Our learning objective for today that you will be able to revise the structures, functions, and vocabulary words presented in Module 4 through various activities. First, let's get to the listening. Listen to a radio interview and decide if the statements are true or false. First statement, Jack's research showed that teenagers are not concerned about global issues. 2. Jack's organization lets young people know about volunteering opportunities. 3. You can call Jack's organization at the weekend. 4. A study showed that young people are passionate about the same things. 5. Jack's organization gives money to young people to make their community better.
So, tell me about this organization you've set up, Jack. It sounds very exciting.
Well, it's all about providing young people with volunteer opportunities.
Really? That is such a good idea. Although I wouldn't have thought you'd get many teenagers interested in that kind of thing. Most young people I know are only interested in playing computer games, watching TV and hanging out with their friends.
I know what you mean, but I've found it's quite the opposite with many teenagers. I did some surveys. For example, I looked at what global issues concern young people the most and found that they are very worried about poverty, war and climate change. These are serious world issues, and they were the top things on teenagers' minds. I also found that many teenagers would like to take part in volunteer work, but they just don't know how to start. This showed me that more work needs to be done to raise young people's awareness of the volunteering opportunities available to them. That's why I set up this organisation.
So, what does your organisation do?
Well, we provide guidance and information on volunteer work. We have advisors who are available 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, to answer any queries. On our website, you can type in your postcode, click on Search, and all volunteering opportunities in your area will be listed, including their contact details. We basically gather all the information and provide it to young people in a way that won't overwhelm them.
So how do you make sure that the volunteer opportunities match the interests of teenagers?
We did a study on the interests of young people. Some young men tend to be very passionate about sport. Others like hanging out with their friends and family. We try to find volunteer organisations that match these interests. For example, the charity Oxfam uses volunteers to organise thousands of artistic events. The charity provides training, tools and technical equipment to the volunteers.
And what other kinds of things can young people do?
The list is endless. There is something for everyone. Art and culture, sports, supervising children, learning new skills such as first aid. There are also many community projects. The important thing I've learnt from our research is that we have to make voluntary work more appealing and cool to teenagers so they will want to take part.
I agree.
Also, a recent programme we have developed that has been very successful involves giving young people money to spend on improving their community. This gives them the responsibility of managing a project on their own. Of course, we give them the relevant training and resources.
And how do you think young people can benefit from volunteer work?
They gain valuable skills and experience, which increases their self-confidence and prepares them for the future. From talking to some of our volunteers, I think it's the feeling that they are giving something back to the community that really gives them a sense of achievement.
Well, I think what you're doing is great.
So, what do you think the answer is for the first one? Do you think that Jack's research showed that teenagers are not concerned about global issues? Is it true or false? The answer is, it is false. Why? He said that they are concerned about poverty, war, and also climate change. So, the answer is false. 2. Jack's organization lets young people know about volunteering opportunities. Do you think the answer is true or false? It is true. 3. You can call Jack's organization at the weekend. he mentioned that you can call from Monday to Friday. So the weekend, they do not work on weekend. So the answer is false. 4. A study showed that young people are passionate about the same things. True or false? The answer is false. Why? He said that they like hanging out with friends, some like they are passionate about sport, so they have different things. 5. Jack's organization gives money to young people to make their community better. The answer is true. He mentioned that they give money to spend on improving communities. And now let's get to the vocabulary. Match the two halves. So we have column A and column B. A few of them, 4 of them actually, are idioms. What are idioms? Idioms are a group of words that give a different meaning from the individual meaning of each word. Number 1, go. Go. What do you think? Do we say go chance, or go the beans, or go on cloud 9, or go hysterical, or go by heart, or go a sweet tooth? The answer is go hysterical, which means someone, when someone goes crazy, he's crazy about things. 2, buy. Buy. What do you think? Which one of these are the answer? It is by chance. By chance. 3, have. Do we say have the beans, or have on cloud 9, or have by heart, or have a sweet tooth? This is an idiom, which is have a sweet tooth. When we say someone have a sweet tooth, it means that he loves food with a lot of sugar. 4, be. Be. Do we say be the beans, or be on cloud 9, or be by heart? It is an idiom also. It is be on cloud 9. When someone is on cloud 9, it means that he is very happy. He is very happy. Then spell. 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 Do we say spell the beans, or spell by heart? I think you all know that. It is spill the beans. Spill the beans means when telling a secret or telling information that shouldn't be told. And the last one is learn by heart. Learn by heart, which means memorizing things, memorizing Quran, memorizing lyrics or whatever. Next exercise, circle the correct answer. Circle the correct answer. We have 5 sentences here. Each sentence has 2 options. You have to choose one of these. 1, he was really determined to overcome or concentrate his fears of heights. So he was really determined. He decided that either to overcome. To overcome means to succeed in dealing with something, and concentrate means focusing on something. So the answer is exactly, it is to overcome. To overcome. He determined to overcome his fear of heights. So he has this fear of heights, going, for example, riding airplanes or going up the mountains. 2. After I had sprained my ankle, I was in a lot of blister or pain. So he sprained his ankle. Do we think that sprain an ankle would cause a blister or pain? A blister is that small bubble on the skin that usually caused by burning your hand or your skin. Pain is almost a physical feeling by illness or injury. You got this answer right. It is pain. 3. This scratch or rash on his body is because of an allergy he has developed to fruit. Allergy is being sensitive to some kind of fruits. Some people, when they eat, for example, mango or kiwi or any kind of fruit, their skin gets sensitive and gets a few signs that he cannot eat that fruit all the time. So do we say scratch? Scratch is that mark on the skin that caused by sharp things when you scratch your skin. Or rash is that red spot on the skin, which is the answer. So this rash on his body is because of an allergy he has developed to fruit. 4. He rose to the surface of the water, choking or gasping for air. Choking is when you have the difficulty to breathe, and that because of especially when you are eating something and you choke. But gasping is when you do this when you are in a huge need to breathe air. So he was deep in the ocean or in the river, and that is the reason why he is gasping for air. 5. John was taken to hospital. Why is he at the hospital? Because he was feeling very dizzy or very conscious. Dizzy is when you feel the sensation of spinning around. You feel everything is going around you, or when feeling unbalanced. But conscious is when you are aware of everything around you and everything that's around you. So he is not going to the hospital if he conscious. So the answer is feeling very dizzy. And now let's get to the other exercise. Complete the following sentences with a suitable adjective from the box. So we have 7 adjectives. The first one is descriptive. Descriptive means that when you describe something like a story or a novel or something happened. Then depressed means when someone is unhappy, he's not feeling well, or he is unhappy, he's very sad. Then betrayed is the feeling is the feeling that when given an incorrect information, when you are given an incorrect information, so when someone lies to you. Grateful when means showing appreciation for someone. He gave you something, or he is very kind to you. So this means so it is showing appreciation. The next one is definitive, which means accurate or correct things. Then conscious, that we just had. Conscious, we said that it is feeling everything around you. Then light-hearted, which means something entertaining or enjoyable. So we have seven sentences. Number one, he gave us a very account of his travel adventures. So he told his adventures that happened when he was traveling. So what do we think? It is descriptive. 2. She fainted on hearing the bad news, and she only became again after half an hour. So she fainted. She's unconscious. She cannot hear you, or she couldn't hear anyone around her, and she only became after half an hour. So that took her 30 minutes maybe to be conscious again. 3. Victoria felt when she found out that her best friend had lied to her. So her best friend didn't tell her the truth, or didn't give her the correct information. So that we call betrayed. So Victoria felt betrayed. 4. There was no proof that he had committed the crime, and he was set free. So he is not in jail or in the prison anymore, because there was no, as we said, accurate or correct proof, which is a definitive. There was no definitive proof. 5. Sammy has been feeling lately. We should do something to cheer him up. So he is sad. He's unhappy. So Sammy has been feeling depressed lately. Number 6. I am to you for helping me finish the report on time. So someone helped him, and that's why he showed appreciation. So he said, I am grateful to you for helping me finish the report on time. 7. I read a nice novel which I enjoyed very much. So that novel was very enjoyable and entertaining. So the answer is, I read a nice, light-hearted novel which I enjoyed very much. Replace the underlined phrases with the expressions from the box. So we have 5 expressions. First one, wear off, which means to disappear or lose effectiveness. Something is not effective anymore. The other expression, bring around. Bring around means to be aware of what is around you. Then come down with, which means to suffer from something, a pain or something that causing you problems. Then get over. Get over means to recover from a situation. And the last one, to wear out, which means to be extremely tired, to be very tired. Mike was exhausted at the end of the marathon race. So he was at the marathon and he is very exhausted, which means, and this is in the past, the answer is worn out. So Mike was worn out at the end of the marathon race. 2. Those pills will have no effect in approximately 3 hours. So the medicine will be effective for 3 hours and after that have no effect, which is, the answer is wear off. So these pills will wear off in approximately 3 hours. 3. I don't feel well. I think I have caught the flu or something. So he doesn't feel well. He is suffering from that flu. So the answer is, I'm coming down with. I don't feel well. I think I'm coming down with the flu or something. 4. It took the doctors 5 minutes to make the man regain consciousness. So the man is not conscious, and that took them 5 minutes. The answer is to bring round. So it took the doctors 5 minutes to bring the man round to be conscious again. 5. Sometimes it takes a long time to recover from a common cold. And the answer is to get over the common cold. And now let's get to the grammar. We have a question tag. Question tags are short questions placed at the end of a statement. They are formed with an auxiliary verb and a personal pronoun. We use them when we are not sure about something or when we are asking for confirmation. For example, you spoke to Tom yesterday, didn't you? When we use this tag, didn't you, why did we use it? We use it to make sure that he spoke to Tom, and we want to make sure if he did or didn't. But the main thing here, you should use a negative question tag if the statement is affirmative, and vice versa, which means that if the statement is negative, you use an affirmative question tag. For example, we have 5 sentences here that we need to fill with a question tag. Complete the sentences with the correct question tag. 1. You are going to Paris next month. You are going to Paris next month. So this statement or this sentence is affirmative, and the question tag should be negative. So the answer is, we have an auxiliary verb we should use, and the pronoun here is you. We say, aren't you? Are is the auxiliary verb, and not, because we have an affirmative sentence and we should have the negative, and you the pronoun. 2. Let's go shopping. Let's go shopping. Let's go is an exception, because let's we always use shall we or could we. So the answer is shall we. Shall we? We want to make sure if we can go shopping or not. 3. Brian hadn't told John about the accident. Hadn't told John about the accident. So we have not here, which means it is negative, and we need to use an affirmative question tag. We have the noun here is Brian, and had is an auxiliary verb. So it is had he. Had, the auxiliary verb, and he, a pronoun that refers to Brian. 4. Alex visited the museum last week. Alex visited the museum last week. So this is an affirmative. We need to use a negative question tag. And this sentence is in the past simple. So the answer is, because we have a past simple and visited is in the past simple, we use did. So the answer is didn't he. Not, we use not because the sentence is affirmative. Didn't he? He refers to Alex. 5. Open your books. Open your books on page 56. So open your books is an imperative sentence, like stop, stand up, say something. All of these are imperative sentences. Open your books on page 56. The answer is will you. We use will you. And now let's get to the other exercise. Complete the following sentences using both, all, neither, or none. We use both all the time for two people or two things, but all, we use it for more than two people or two things, while neither, we use it for two people or two things, but in a sentence that gives a negative meaning. None, we use it for more than two people or two things in a sentence that gives a negative meaning. So number 1, of my shirts are clean. They all need washing. What am I going to wear? Shirts, it's a plural, not two, it's plural. And this sentence gives a negative meaning, which we should use none. None of my shirts are clean. 2. Of my classmates. Of my classmates failed the math exam, except me. I was proud of myself. Classmates is plural. Plural, which we have to use the answer all. All of my classmates failed the math exam, except me. I was proud of myself. Number 3, my parents are strict and want to let me go out on a school night. Parents, his father and his mother. So the answer is both. My parents are strict and won't let me go out on a school night. Number 4, of them is English. Jose is Spanish and Antonio is Italian. So we have both. We have two people, Jose and Antonio. So the answer is neither of them is English. Neither of them is from Britain. Jose is Spanish and Antonio is Italian. Thank you so much for joining me in this class. And this is what we had today. Listening, we have listened to a radio interview. And vocabulary, we had phrases and expressions. And we had 2 grammar rules, the question tags and the words both, all, neither, and none. Thank you so much.